Good morning. I'm Pat Kent, and I've served as General Manager at Dell Technologies Storage and Solutions manufacturing facility here in Franklin for the last 7 years of my 30-year career with Dell. This facility just celebrated its 25-year anniversary, and Dell Technologies is very proud to host this morning's 2024 AM State of Massachusetts Business Address. Dell is a proud member of the Associated Industries of Massachusetts and supports its efforts to create economic opportunity for the citizens of the Commonwealth. Dell in many ways represents the Massachusetts economy, an innovative, technology-driven company with great team members who both develop and manufacture key technologies right here in the Commonwealth. We look forward to hearing about what's in store for Massachusetts during 2024. Please welcome Brooke Thomson, the new President and Chief Executive Officer of Associated Industries of Massachusetts, for the State of Massachusetts Business Address.
Thank you, Pat, and thanks to Dell Technologies for hosting us in Franklin. This facility is one of Dell's largest manufacturing sites in America and houses technicians as well as hardware and software engineers who work on some of the most advanced technologies in the world. The products built here by Massachusetts residents serve as critical infrastructure used by federal, state, and local governments, large companies, and small businesses throughout North America. Welcome to the 2024 State of Massachusetts Business Address, which sets the agenda each year for the business community in Massachusetts. I was honored to become the Chief Executive Officer of Associated Industries of Massachusetts on January 1st and appreciate this opportunity to articulate the experiences and concerns of AIM's 3,400 companies as we enter the new year. I would like to begin my remarks today by paying tribute to my predecessor, John Regan, who stepped down on December 31st after guiding the association for 5 years. John was a towering figure during the difficult days of the COVID pandemic and a champion of economic growth when the crisis receded. John's gracious wisdom during the recent leadership transition has allowed AIM to hit the ground running in 2024 with extraordinary momentum on both financial and policy matters. Thank you, John. My own story is much like that of thousands of other Massachusetts residents who live and work in the Commonwealth. I grew up in Kansas City as a politically active kid and came to Massachusetts to attend Mount Holyoke College in South Hadley. New England was a bit of a culture shock for this Midwesterner, but I was immediately drawn to the intellectual energy, political dynamism, and seemingly unlimited opportunity Massachusetts offered to anyone willing to work hard and pursue their dreams. So here I am, the first woman to lead the state's largest business association in 109 years, giving voice to employers, large and small, who share a common commitment to create economic opportunity and make life better for the communities in which they operate. More importantly, I lead this organization at a time of unparalleled promise as we work to create an economy that offers every citizen of Massachusetts the ability to work, raise a family, and share in our common prosperity. That sense of promise is born from the single but profound truth that Massachusetts thrives during times of change. How do I know that? I've seen it time and time again as I have visited AIM member companies across Massachusetts during the past 6 months. I've seen it here at Dell Technologies, where its end-to-end technology solutions are powering all engines of our economy, from helping Main Street mom and pops to creating a more data-driven and immersive fan experience at Gillette Stadium. Dell Technologies has approximately 5,000 team members in Massachusetts and a 40-plus year history of contributing to the state's economy. In its fiscal year 2021, Dell spent more than $1.4 billion with Massachusetts suppliers and found that it added $5.2 billion in value to the local economy. I've seen it at the new Holyoke Tech Hub, where the IT workforce organization Tech Foundry is working with Holyoke Community College to provide digital literacy and tech support for residents of one of the nation's first planned industrial cities. I've seen it in the technological and scientific advances at Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution in Falmouth, where more than 1,000 scientists and researchers are pushing the boundaries of knowledge about the ocean to reveal its impacts on our planet and our lives. I've seen it at GE Vernova as the company prepares to write a new chapter in its mission to electrify and decarbonize the planet. Soon to be spun off from General Electric, GE Vernova will make Cambridge the headquarters of a company with 80,000 employees across 140 nations, making wind and gas turbines that generate 30% of the world's electricity. And if you have any doubts about the potential of the Massachusetts economy, consider this. The number of business establishments in Massachusetts has increased every single year during the past decade. Yes, through a global pandemic. Yes, through multiple economic cycles, and yes, through the administrations of 3 governors. Massachusetts gained over 62,000 new private companies in the last decade. Let's acknowledge that Massachusetts and its business community face their share of challenges in 2024. And as the state and national economies downshift in response to the Federal Reserve's 18-month campaign to moderate inflation. The AIM Board of Economic Advisors tells us that business confidence continues to hover near the dividing line between optimism and pessimism. Our colleagues at AIM HR Solutions, who work with hundreds of Massachusetts employers each month, tell us that companies remain locked in a persistent struggle to find qualified workers. And while the Massachusetts population finally increased during 2023 after years of decline, southern states still accounted for 87% of the U.S. population increase as entrepreneurs and high net worth individuals headed for favorable business climates. United Van Line's 47th annual National Movers Study this month found that Massachusetts remains a top 10 state for outbound residents. State tax revenues, meanwhile, are projected to fall somewhere between $700 million and $900 million short of projections for the current fiscal year. There is, meanwhile, a growing level of economic anxiety among the American people. That anxiety is now a feature, not an aberration, of the American experience. A Wall Street Journal NORC poll finds that just 21% of respondents feel confident that life for their children's generation will be better than their own. A separate CNBC poll reports that 70% of Americans are feeling financially stressed, and a 2023 EY study finds that less than a third of Gen Z feel financially secure, with more than half saying they are very or extremely worried about not having enough money. People's job or career choices are being determined not by a natural passion or proclivity, but by their need for health care benefits, money for childcare, or an ability to pay off their college or medical debt. The promise of Massachusetts for both business and workers will be fulfilled only if business, elected officials, and everyday citizens work together to make it happen. We cannot rest on our reputation, but must instead outwork and outperform everyone else if we are to prosper. Assets like an unparalleled education system, an enviable technology development system, and a vibrant advanced manufacturing base will pay off only if the Commonwealth rolls up its sleeves and creates the environment that allows business to turn these assets into jobs. How do we accomplish that goal? Let me suggest that Massachusetts needs to double down on a far-reaching approach to economic development, one that seamlessly melds competitiveness for the business community with affordability for the residents who work in our companies and live in our communities. And we need to make sure that that plan works for all regions of the Commonwealth. Make no mistake, we must continue to prioritize the traditional pillars of economic development, like advantageous tax rates, streamlined regulation, and efficient permitting that are the bedrock of business success and job creation. We have work to do on that front. Massachusetts slipped to 46th on the Tax Foundation's State Tax Business Climate Index, and we ranked 49th for the cost of doing business in CNBC's Top States for Doing Business. But economic development must also address the soaring cost of everything from housing to childcare to healthcare to energy, which is driving some of our best and brightest employees to less expensive regions of the country. The exodus of working-age people accelerated by the rise of remote work, is exacerbating an already dire labor shortage that has employers struggling to fill their payrolls in an economy running at 2.9% unemployment. Almost every Massachusetts employer has heard from an employee at one time or another saying, "I'd love to come to work here, or I'd love to stay here, but I can't afford to raise my family here." Addressing the affordability question turns out to be a critical variable as Massachusetts employers compete for talent in some of our fastest growing industries. The good news is that Massachusetts made significant progress last year on both the competitiveness and affordability portions of economic development. The legislature passed and Governor Maura Healey signed a tax relief law that reduced the rate on short-term capital gains and raised the threshold for imposition of the estate tax. Both measures that will help business invest. We're also grateful that the Massachusetts House and Senate passed the Frances Perkins Workplace Equity Law, a compromise measure AIM-shaped that will give Massachusetts employers another tool to attract the talent they need to grow their businesses. The bill sends a clear message that Massachusetts is committed to leading the way on pay equity and, in turn, attracting and retaining a workforce that will allow our businesses and economy to thrive. Most importantly, the governor in October unveiled a $4 billion plan to address the housing crisis that hangs like a cloud over the economic promise of Massachusetts. The governor's proposal includes $4 billion in capital spending authorizations, 28 substantive policy changes or initiatives, 3 executive orders, and 2 targeted tax credits, all directed at reducing barriers to the production and preservation of housing. Governor Healey's new economic development plan, Team Massachusetts Leading Future Generations, which I helped to craft as a member of the Economic Development Planning Council, sounds the same themes of competitiveness and affordability. The plan wisely addresses the bedrock issues that will determine the future of the Massachusetts economy: housing, transportation, talent retention and acquisition, and the need to support the industries in which the Commonwealth holds a competitive advantage. Across all the initiatives outlined in the plan is a consistent theme. We need to make it easier for businesses and individuals to thrive. AIM couldn't agree more. By the way, we hope you will join us at the January 25th AIM Executive Forum to hear directly from Governor Healey about her economic priorities for 2024. The governor has once again selected AIM to give her first major economic speech of the year. Visit our website, www.aimnet.org, to register. The business community looks forward to 2024 with gratitude for the progress our state has made, optimism about the future, and determination for the tasks ahead. Those tasks must affirm the role of Massachusetts as a global center of business and commerce and prepare the ground for sustained business growth for every industry, from biotech to advanced manufacturing, from hospitality to higher education, from retail to clean energy. In short, state government must keep its foot on the gas in this quest to make Massachusetts both competitive in terms of jobs and affordable for those who would fill them. AIM has been a key voice in the competitiveness conversation, and we look forward to continuing that role in 2024. AIM first and foremost supports public policy that encourages and enables people to live and work in Massachusetts instead of opting to move to lower-cost states. We support further reduction of the short-term capital gains tax to 5% to stimulate business investment. Massachusetts should also join every other state in New England and exempt rolling stock, tractors, trailers, and rail cars from sales tax. And let's allow deductions for business interests so that companies will not be penalized for borrowing and investing in growth. Second, AIM supports the overarching objectives of the governor's housing bond bill to accelerate the development of new housing and to moderate the cost our employees must pay to buy homes and establish roots here in Massachusetts. We are particularly supportive of housing developments located near mass transit to address the Commonwealth's persistent transportation gridlock. Third, AIM supports permitting and siting reform for energy generation that will eliminate the persistent burden of higher energy costs on Massachusetts employers. The Commonwealth's laudable efforts to transition its economy to renewable resources must take into account employers who already pay among the highest electricity rates in the country. Fourth, AIM strongly supports a swift resolution to the $2.5 billion deficit hanging over the state's unemployment insurance system. Business should not be saddled with additional taxes because Massachusetts incorrectly utilized federal relief funds to pay jobless claims during the pandemic. Fifth, AIM supports open, effective, and transparent collaboration between policymakers and all healthcare stakeholders to contain healthcare cost growth and promote equitable access and affordability of the high-quality treatment while retaining Massachusetts' foothold as an international leader in life sciences, research and development, and our world-class hospital provider system. AIM continues to support our own Pink Slip initiative, launched 2 years ago to help employers implement policies that encourage women and caregivers who left the workforce during the pandemic to return. We also support an act to encourage employer-supported childcare, which would provide matching state grants to businesses promoting childcare programming in the Commonwealth. On a related issue, AIM and its AIM HR Solutions business unit will continue to work with our member companies to ensure efficient implementation of the state's paid family and medical leave law and updates that have recently occurred. We urge the legislature to resist making additional changes to PFML until employers learn the system and understand its effects on their businesses. Amid these policy priorities, we must recommit ourselves to an inclusive vision of economic growth in which every business in the Commonwealth has access to the resources it needs to compete and share in the economic prosperity of the state. I am proud to say that AIM is leading the Massachusetts business community towards a more inclusive economy. AIM recently won a $100,000 Verizon Forward Community Enhancement Award to establish a new digital inclusion initiative to help historically disadvantaged, small, and medium-sized businesses succeed in a digital world. The initiative will bridge the digital divide in business by empowering businesses owned by Black, Indigenous people of color, women, LGBTQ+, people with disabilities, and veterans to access resources, workforce training, and business-to-business connections to ensure they are digital ready. The Verizon Award comes on top of another large grant from the Eastern Bank Foundation for our AIM Business Connect initiative, which we launched in 2021 to advance supplier diversity by connecting AIM members with potential suppliers operated by people of color. AIM has also established partnerships with the Boston Impact Initiative and provides services through the City of Boston's Space Grant program to help small businesses move into vacant storefronts. Behind all of AIM's activities is the belief that the creation of a job and a person's ability to do it weaves together very important aspects of social and economic stability: the desire for a better life, the ability to support a family, the confidence to start a business, and the need to support efficient government management of services such as education, healthcare, and public safety. It also engenders a sense of common purpose that binds us together as a community through good times and bad, through prosperity and uncertainty, through national triumphs and national tragedies. AIM represents more than 3,400 Massachusetts employers of every possible description: global manufacturing companies, mom and pop grocery stores, cutting-edge research and technology startups, and sophisticated service companies. The association remains a uniquely powerful voice to remind all of us that it is the private sector that is the engine of economic opportunity. Businesses flourish and can provide good jobs when we work together with government as a productive partner. We look forward to working with our many partners in 2024 to make that vision a reality. Thank you.